Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to finish up our file folder journal. We're going to put our embellishments on, put our pockets in. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. So we'll start out by just decorating the front a little tiny bit. This one said "Gardens Grow Everywhere." And I'm just going to glue it up here. I'm not going to be over embellishing it. I just think that, whoever gets it, maybe they would like to add some of their own touch to it also. And we'll just put that there like that. And I'm going to go ahead and do the closure while I have my mind on it and while I know how I want it done. I just cut a piece of the paper that was left over. I used scraps that was left for different parts in the journal. So I'm just going to glue this on here, and I made a little mark showing where I wanted it to be, so I knew. And I'm only going to glue about halfway. I think I'll use my Fabri-Tac on this part of it. Let's see. It's going to go like that. That is part of a little flower. So I think I only want about this much. Oh, we have to let the glue run down. My art glitter glue is running good, so we'll just wait on this. So I'm only going to do it just maybe a little under half. And this is going to be for our closure. So now while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to go ahead and add some little gems to the butterflies. This guy's body's kind of long, so we'll put that many on there, and his body's a little shorter, so we'll put that many there. And well, hopefully that many gems is not too much. We'll do that there. Hopefully I'm on camera. Yeah, I guess I am. And we'll put them there. Now, right in the center of this, I tried to think of something that I could put on there that would be like extra fancy, and no, I couldn't. So I'm just going to put a little purple gem on here. And I think that should be plenty good enough because the paper itself is just pretty. So I like that on there. And up here, just to dress this part of it up a little bit, I'm going to add just a few little purple gems here and there. Maybe just 3. For no other reason than I like gems. I think they need different things need gems just to make them look glitzy. And I'm not a glitzy person, but I like putting gems on stuff. All right, we'll do something like that. So I think that'll be good. And I don't think we need anything else. I could add a couple over here. Maybe it just will look a little off-centered if I don't put something over here. We'll have to think about that. Now, I'm going to use this for my closure. And I want to wrap that there so I know where it goes in at. And I also made little marks back here where I have to have it. Let me turn it around, make sure it's lined up now. Because I mean, I just really fumbled around with this thing trying to get it in the right spot. Sorry, I'm off camera. So I want that to go right about in there. And I guess if I have to adjust it now that it's glued in, I can do that. I'm going to have to trim that. So I'm going to glue this in. And this is also just a scrap from the pages. Now I'm not going to make this tight because you want to leave room so if your journal expands a little bit, you don't want to let it be too loose. So let me see, I need to just cut it off a little bit. I'll just do a little bit at a time. And now I think that should be okay. So let me round these corners. My froggy's back. Haven't had a frog in my throat all day long. And let me just ink around here. I'm hoping that I have that. I might have to add just a little bit more glue. Now this was meant to be a pretty fast video, but you know how that works, right? It doesn't work that way. Because I don't want to cut any more off of this. But I want it to be able to hold, and if it doesn't hold, then I'm going to have to put a piece of Velcro under it. So I think we're going to move on. If I need to add Velcro, I'll add Velcro on this strip, and it can tuck under there, and it'll hold by the Velcro. And I think that should be all right also, because I don't want it to flip open, you know, and have stuff fall out of it. But anyway, I think the cover looks pretty cute. So let's move on. Now, in this pocket, I have these. I made journal cards out of these. These were made to be, like, they had that torn look. So I just tore around them and inked on the back. So that's some journal space. And this was from another printable. I I liked the border around this, so I left it, but this could be torn. And I inked around that. So we have a couple journal cards in there. Then I only did something on just a few pages in here. Like I say, I figured, you know, it leaves space for somebody else to do something. Now this was one of, can't remember, I want to say it was one of these pages, one of them cards. So I just cut down the side and across the bottom and cut around the butterfly, and I'm just going to glue down here and across the bottom. And we're going to make a little side tuck. And I'm going to leave it up away from the edge a little bit. And it still leaves room for journaling. Let me put my glue on this for right now. Then this was leftover paper, like this paper here. So I just made a little journal card out of it. And then so I would have something else to go in here. I made like a little fold out journal page. This is Wish. I just put this on here to make it look like a little booklet. So you would open it up, and then you would open it up. So you would have all of it to journal on, and then just fold it up and stick it in your little tuck pocket. Pretty cool, huh? Now over here I left this blank. I really like this paper. It's just pretty. I left this blank. A lot of journaling spaces in here. Then over here, this was a cutoff from one of the pages. So there was another part over here, I think. And I just cut that off and just kind of cut around to make a little corner tuck. So I'm only going to glue down here and across the bottom. I like when I can do a project and use the pages or the paper from that project. And then there's still journal space up here because the darker ink will show up on here. Okay, these are leftovers, so they're just little journal cards. I thought them would fit in there nice. Then this is another one of them, like what's in the front pocket. So I just tore around it and inked. And inked on the back. So I'm just going to glue down this side and across the bottom. This side. I'm going to glue here and here. Otherwise I'm going to mess myself up. Because then I'd have to put it on the other side, and I don't want to do that. Oh, yep, guess we got it right, huh? And I'm going to leave this one in, leave a border around it. Just trying to make for sure that I'm staying in view. And this one has little dragonflies on it. Now these are leftovers from the papers. These was from the center mats. This one, this top one. And then this is from this paper here. I actually printed another one of these so I could make some journal cards out of it. So it's inked on the back, and I covered up the little staple. I just stapled this on, so I covered up the little staple. And seeing that reminds me I have to go back to the first page again. So we're going to stick them in there. If I don't do it now, I will forget. I want to run some lace down this edge. Something told me I was going to forget. So let me cut this off straight. I don't want to come clear out to the edge. I want to stay in just a little tiny bit and run it down something like that. And I think that'll be pretty. So just going to use my Fabri-Tac. And of course I'm not gluing a straight line, so we'll hope we meet up with the glue in there. Smush some of that glue over where I need it. There, and I think that dresses up the cover just a little bit more. Now that looks fancier. Pretty, pretty. Love this paper. Okay, now we'll move on. Now I have to find where we was. I think we just did this one. Okay, now we have another tuck spot, and like I don't know, I think I said, but if I didn't, I have all of the stuff on the pages where I wanted it to go. Too much to keep up with if I don't. Okay, so we're just gonna go right up here, and this is a leftover piece, so I just it's kind of like a funny looking little corner pocket, but you know what, anything works. I don't think that's straight. Let's just tip it a little bit. I think that's better. Okay, now this one, I did have it cut in the shape of a tag, but I had it upside down, and I didn't want to have an upside down tag, so I cut that part off of it and just rounded my corners, so it's just a little journal card. And I thought I inked around the back of it too, but I guess I didn't. So that goes in there good. And even though it matches, that's fine. These are cutoffs. So we have these two little journal cards also. And then there's that and that. Now in the center, I just made a bow, left this long, you know, because you can tie beads on it or anything. Not going to put anything in the center. I'm going to leave it just for journaling. Anything can be added in there. Now we'll go to this page. Now on this page, I can't forget to add them. I made like a little booklet This was one of the cards, like what was in the front pocket. So I just took four little sheets of paper, glued them together, and then I glued them on to this. So it's like a little booklet, so you can write in it. And now what I'm going to do is I put a hinge on it. So I'm going to glue it down on this page, because you can open it up, write in it, and then you have all this journaling space. So, and I want it like right around in the center would be good, I think. I put the white part to the underneath, and the fancy part is what you'll see when you open it up. Okay, so something like that. So now on the inside cover, I wanted to add something. So I just took this cheesecloth and kind of inked it with a little purple ink. And then I thought maybe I made it look kind of funny, but I guess it'll be okay. And I just want to glue this down. It says, "Let your dreams be your wings." So I thought I would just glue that on the inside of the little booklet. So I'll just smear a little glue around. I laid it on there before I inked it up, and it really didn't show up because it was just white. So something like that, and then I'll just put that on there. So we have strings. Now on the front, I thought on the front of this one, I would again put some lace down this side. I think I want it in just a little past the border. Oops, throwing everything everywhere now. Now I have strings from that stuff everywhere. Now I'll just trim this off. Then on this little door, this is like the little mail slots or whatever, but I thought I would put these two gems on there and it would make it look like little door handles. See, it makes it look like you got a fancy front door. Make sure they're even. Yes, I think they are. So, and you can even write a little in here, but I thought it was a cute little addition. So that's that page. And on this page here, you can do anything. You can add on any of these pages, you can add pictures or anything. You can add more pockets, whatever you prefer. Now on this page here, this was also a cut off. This was from when I cut these out. That's how this shape was made. So I almost cut the top off, and then I thought, no, I'm going to leave it on there because I think it looks pretty cool. So, and I had cut a little tiny bit off of here. I used it for something. So it's going to be a belly band. It's not the full length of the page because I cut off of it, but that's fine. So I'm only going to glue on top and on the bottom. I just thought the shape of it was a little unique. So I'm just going to kind of center it. I have to hold it up so I can see if it's straight. I think that looks pretty straight. Okay, now for under the belly band, I used this just little cut-off piece to put on this paper. When you open it up, this is what you see, but if you open it this way, we have two sheets in here, two trifolds, so they can just be folded together to go under there. Then we have this one. So I thought, I mean, you can put them in single or you can leave them doubled. It doesn't really matter. So this gives more journaling space. And that makes it a little thicker in there too, which might help them from sliding out. Hopefully this is straight up here. Hopefully it's not cockeyed. Okay. So then we have these pages, and we come to another one of these pockets. So we're going to glue this side and this side. I think that it's pretty the way it's torn. Okay, so now we have another tag and another cutoff. So a little journal spot, a little journal card. And this page. And these, let me see. The little gems that I used, they stick up a little bit, but not as much as some of them. So when you try to write over them, I think it should be fine. If not, you can always take something like a little piece of cardboard and put in there. And then, you know, that'll help to keep the bumpiness out of it. Here's some more of that pretty paper. And then we're on our last page. Now this piece here was cut off from this piece. And it had that torn look. around the outside. So I thought I wanted to keep that torn look, but I was going to tear it this time. So I tore all the way around it, but I tore in where the dark paper was. So this one here matches the back piece. So all I'm going to do is the 3 sides and make a little side tuck. So we couldn't get through the whole video without the glue clogging. Hopefully it'll work now. I can say since I cleaned this tip really good, it's been flowing better. Now I just used, you know, as little glue as I could, because if it goes into the tuck spot too far, you won't have any tuck there. Now for this one, again, I used another piece of a cutoff from one of these pages. And I just made, it actually can go like this. I just made a little fold out. I want it to go like this because it's going to be out like this. It doesn't matter whichever way you want to put it in there. And when I do these, I always round all the corners because I just like the way it looks. And then that'll just slide right under there. And up here, we're just going to put cheerful. Just kind of at an angle, and if it goes off a little, that's fine. And then I thought on top I would just put a little purple gem. Let me see, just right above it. Is my glue trying to tell me that I left them open too long? Maybe. Okay. Let me get all of that sticky off of there, because it doesn't stick very good when that glue is on there. And if you don't put other glue on it, I don't think they stick very good. There we go. So we'll just put that like that. Now I have them stuck to my fingers. Okay. Now on the back page, or the back of the cover, we have 2 more of the journal cards. So them just fit in there. And then we have our back. Now I didn't do anything to the back. You can do whatever you want with it. But I'm thinking that I don't know if I want to trust this all by itself. Might be okay. Doesn't seem to be bothering it any. I think that'll hold. So I'm not going to put any Velcro on it. Okay, everybody. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Give me thumbs up if you like it. And until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.